Good morning from Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point in the Bahamas. We are here on the Disney Magic today for one of the first sailings. So this has only been open since the beginning of June, this island destination. So we are checking it out for the first time today. And right now the crew is actually getting off the ship to get everything set on the island for the guests. And then we'll be able to get off around 10:15, 10:30 they said this morning. So we're excited to check it out. It is definitely a little warm here today, but we can't complain. We have sunny skies and we're looking forward to seeing everything that the island has to offer. One of the things that you might have heard about the new island destination is this area that you have to walk on to get to the island. I will say that seeing it in person, it is not as long as it looks when you see pictures. So people have said it's about an 8 to 10 minute walk depending on how quickly you walk. If you do need assistance getting to the island, you can go to guest services and ask for a tram to help you get there. So there are options if you do have accessibility concerns, but we'll be sure to share with you how long it takes us. We are kind of quick walkers, but it's also pretty warm out today, so we're not going to really push it. So we got off and it was actually an 8-minute walk to get from the pier over here, or from the ship over here on the pier. So really easy. It was not as long as a walk as people have kind of talked it up to be. And now we are heading into the entrance area here. And over here is where we're going to, you can kind of head to your right to get a tram. This is also where some of the cabanas are going to be. We got our first sighting of some merchandise here, a Lookout Cay spirit jersey, one for the kiddos, and this one is a regular spirit jersey, but this one for the little ones is going to be one of those rash guard ones. But we're going to check out the rest of the merchandise once we get over to Disney Tings, which is their main merchandise location on this island. One of the nice things was when we got off the pier, they were actually waiting there with some cool washcloths for us. So clearly they're taking what people say and they're looking for options to make it easier and more enjoyable. And that's the one thing with Disney. You know, when you go in the beginning, if you go a year from them, 6 months from them, even 3 cruises from that first one, you're going to find differences. We just missed one of the trams leaving, but we're going to wait for our next one, of course. But there's only 2 tram locations here. So whereas with Castaway Cay, you have the tram for the adult-only location, Serenity Bay, as well as the family stop, this one's just going to have one, and then you kind of walk from there.
Brought along a couple of young friends to help me out. Say hello to Lissy the curly-tailed lizard.
Thanks for letting me tail along, Tracy.
And Sandy the land crab.
Hello, everyone.
I bet you 2 know a lot about Lighthouse Point.
We sure do. We were born here.
Tell us a little about it.
Ooh, I know, Miss Tracy. We're on the southern tip of the island of Eleuthera, in the Bahamas.
That's right. Do you know why this place is called Lighthouse Point?
Because a lighthouse was built here a lot of years ago.
That lighthouse is still here today. Our guests can see it when they walk the nature trail. Anything else about the island?
We have pink sand on the beaches.
Why is that?
I like pink. Lizzie, the color comes mostly from the crushed shells of microscopic insects.
Impressive, Sandy.
I know a lot about sand. It's my name.
We just got off at the Green Bay tram stop, so this is going to be the tram stop that takes you over to the beaches. And this is also where there's a cultural center, some more shopping. So we're going to check out everything that's over here. But it's about a 10-minute tram ride, and they kind of have some narration on there that tells you more about the island. So it was definitely not a slow 10 minutes. We headed over to Disney Tings, which is their main merchandise location here, and there are a number of different Lookout Cay, merchandise items. So we have another spirit jersey here, and a t-shirt, some water bottles, a beverage cooler, hats, and then let's check out what's inside too. Across the way, there's Treasures of Eleuthera, and this is going to be local artisans that have different merchandise in here. So let's check this out too. Hello. This is the Goombay Cultural Center, so there's different activities that will take place here throughout the day that, again, will highlight the culture of the Bahamian island that we're on. Just walked down to the family beach, so this is going to be right past the Goombay tram stop and cultural center. So if you are just here with your little ones, this is going to be the spot that you'll head to. Just before the entrance to the beach, you're going to have the Flippers and Fins snorkel rentals. So this is where you're going to be able to, of course, rent any of that gear that you need for snorkeling. You can bring your own gear, but you just need to make sure that you have all the requirements for that. And all that can be found on DisneyCruiseLine.com or DisneyCruise.com, excuse me, but also in the Navigator app as well. One of the nice things that they've done here is that there are bathrooms at every bar location. So if you're looking for a bathroom, you know this is where you're going to head to. So right now we are at the Bow and Ribbon Bar, which is at the Family Beach, and we're going to check this one out. But there's going to be different bars throughout the entire island, and each bar is going to have different specialty drinks. So I don't think we're going to try them all, but we will definitely check out the menus. If you walk past the bathrooms towards the bar, there's also going to be showers here, so you can come out, clean off your feet before you head on back to the tram. So the specials we have at this bar is going to be the Eleuthera Euphora, the Butterfly Switcha, and then the Junkanoo Latte, I think. I think those are going to be our specials here, but we'll see as we go to other locations too. All right, so we did get drinks at this bar. So I got the Eleuthera Euphoria, which is Gosling Spirited Seas Ocean Aged Rum, Pineapple, and Dole Whip Pineapple. And then there is a piece of orange on top. 5 out of 5. Definitely would recommend. I was a big fan of it. You were not a big fan of it. But
I don't like spiced rum, so if you don't like spiced rum, you're not going to like that. So,
yeah. But if you do, it's very good. It's literally like drinking a boozy Dole Whip, pretty much. And then what'd you get, Pat?
I got the Junkanoo juice. It's rum, banana, passion, orange, guava, pineapple, and lime. It's good. It's a good island drink. It's not overly sweet. It doesn't taste overly boozy, but it is, and it's really good. I like it.
Yeah, and the bartender that was here said that that's the one that he makes the most. So that is a favorite on the island, of course. There are some specialty cups that you can get, but you also get these nice cups with it that that was very well timed, so we did that. That will keep it cool. So that's kind of nice in comparison to getting like the plastic cups where they get really hot.
Actually, it's really cold and I had to put it down. It's going to
so
keep it nice and cold.
There's going to be 3 different dining locations that are on the island, so you don't have to go back onto the ship for lunch, which is nice. There is True True Barbecue, True True 2, T-O-O Barbecue, and then the Serenity Bay Barbecue. So Serenity Bay Barbecue is only for adults, 18 and up, and then the other 2 are going to be for families. But there is a ton of seating over here at the True True 2 Barbecue, and True True Barbecue, I believe, is going to be back that way. So kind of, if you are at the tram stop, we headed kind of to our right, or I'm sorry, to our left. If you head to your right, I believe that's where True True Barbecue is going to be, but we'll make sure that we check that out too. If you walk towards your left from the Family Beach, this is going to be the pathway to Serenity Bay, which is the adult-only area for guests 18 years and older. And this is also where you're going to see the cabanas. So I believe these cabanas are going to be for the Family Beach, and then as we get further down, they will be other cabanas for Serenity Bay, but we'll check that out. We're still kind of getting the lay of the land here to see how this all works, but these cabanas can be booked through the Disney Cruise Line app before your cruise. These are super low in terms of availability, so they're hard to get, and if you are looking to do them, this is where it might be good to do a concierge level stateroom, because you get first access to any of the onboard activities, excursions, as well as the cabanas. So if this is a must-do, that's a good way to kind of make sure that you get that. We just entered the Serenity Bay area, so the actual area of it, and now we have hit the Serenity Bay BBQ. So again, adult only area, but the barbecues are going to be open for lunch, and it looks like there is a watering hole bar right next door there, so we'll have to check that out, and we've got some great crew members over there, but this is going to be open, so we'll probably grab lunch here depending on how long we kind of hang out on the island, but there's always options on board as well. So I misspoke originally. This is the Blue Hole bar, and there are some more specialty drinks over here. So we're going to check out which ones those are. So their specialty drinks are going to be the Cascarilla Cooler and the Tropical Fashion. So I guess like an old fashioned. And I don't think either of those are going to be ones that I would try. This is one that might be up Pat's alley, but I think he was going to try out some of the different beers that are here. There's a bunch of seltzers, different things like that. So lots of different things. But if you are looking to get just soft drinks, if you go to the beverage stand that's going to be by True True 2 or True True Barbecue, they'll have a beverage stand that you can just kind of grab some soft drinks at and not have to pay anything additional. So we're now just hanging out on the beach. It is super quiet here, so I don't know if it's just the time of the day, but I am so used to at Castaway having to kind of run to get to Serenity Bay to get a spot that has an umbrella, and we're here probably an hour after we were able to get off the ship, and we just kind of walked up and were able to get a spot with an umbrella. So we love to see that. It's very nice. This is like feels like a little bit closer to the bar, the food, and everything like that than Castaway does for Serenity Bay, which is kind of nice because you don't have as much of a walk. But the water here is just so beautiful. So we're definitely gonna take some time to go hang out in the water for a bit.
Buckets. The buckets all the way over up this end near the pineapples are full of water and have loads of sponges in them. Now, these buckets over here, we will pop them over here. Now, these are empty. So, in your teams, you need to get in a long line between the buckets. We need to pass the sponges from this bucket all the way over here to the empty bucket. Alright? We need to ring out the water. Now, whichever team has the most water in the empty buckets at the end will be the winner. Now, disclaimer alert, you're going to get wet.
We headed over to the Play Pavilion because they have some special entertainment that goes on the island, which is something that I really like that they do here. There's a lot of character interactions. There's actually the characters playing with the kids right now. So that is going to be right past the Kids Club area, which we're going to go past right now. And this is also where they have the nice kind of water play area as well. So over in this area over here is Sebastian's Cove, and this is going to be the Kids Club that's area that's located on the island. So even though you're off the ship, you can actually still have your kids go hang out at the Kids Club area, and then you can head over to Serenity Bay. We're heading over to True True Barbecue. So this is one of the barbecue locations that is open for lunch. It opened at 11:30, and we're going to check it out and see what they have. It looks like they have different stations, the flavorful fish, chicken and seafood, rice bowls, barbecue ribs and rotisserie chicken, beach barbecue burgers, and I think I'm missing one, but there's also a drink stand over in this area too. There's going to be a drink stand, and then of course you can get that ice cream as well that you can get on the ship. We both grabbed burgers. I grabbed fries, and Pat got a cucumber and tomato and onion salad. The one thing about over in this area, and this is at all of the food locations, there are some flies that are around. So I'm going to tell you more about that. So over in this area, we're at the True Barbecue, but this is across all of the barbecue locations. There are flies that are flying around. It looks like they've started to control it somewhat, so they have coverage over the food items and things like that. We just kind of picked around to see where we weren't seeing flies that were, but it was really more on like the seafood side, things like that. So I would just say just be aware of that. If you're not, you don't want to eat that food, you can still get food on the ship. So maybe come in the morning or come after lunchtime, and then you don't have to kind of worry about that. But I'm sure that as time goes on, they're going to control that more. They don't, they're on an island that is not their private island, so there's only so much that they can do. They're also really trying to work and not impact the environment. So we'll see how things go there, but I will say I watched vlogs of people who were on the first sailing, and this is probably about 20 times better than what they were experiencing. So we're moving in the right direction for sure. This is another one of the areas where you can grab a drink that is going to be an additional cost. So these are sensational smoothies, and this is going to have some non-alcoholic options, but let's go around and check the menu and see what their specialty drinks are too. Walking around to the bar here, you can also see the awesome play area that they have. That is a splash and play area for families. So this is definitely more than like the splash and play areas you see in like the Disney parks. There is a water slide. There's just a ton of different areas that you can hang out, and this is a nice area over by the family beach. All right, so here is our menu. We have a pineapple pleaser, which is basically a Dole Whip, with marshmallow cream and graham crackers, salted coconut, mango float, a tropical teaser, and then these are our specialty drinks at this location: peaches and cream iced tea, which actually sounds very good, guava strawberry colada, and then a spicy watermelon limeade. It's very interesting. There are some specialty drink cups here. So they have the Disney Cruise Line pineapple cups, and then there's actually a travel mug basically that you can get on here too that just has Disney Cruise Line. None are specific to Lookout Key as far as I've seen so far. We're gonna head back to the ship, so we are walking to the Goombay Cultural Center. The one thing that I'll say that is so nice about this is that there is just everything's kind of in the same area, which is really great. But we're now seeing that there is a Junkanoo celebration that's about to happen. So I think we're actually gonna hang for a little bit because we gotta check this out.
Standing there looking around. I do want to see everything. So everyone, we're gonna get started with our rush here in just a few minutes, all right? I'll see you in a second. Take your booty like Donald.
All right, so we are back on the ship many hours later at this point. We got off and got back onto the ship probably a little bit after 1. So we were able to kind of get our food, get some lunch over at True True Barbecue, and then see some of the special entertainment that they have there. What's kind of nice is they do basically like 2 sets of the entertainment, so they do it kind of earlier, so we were able to see the earlier entertainment, and then they do it as well in the afternoon. So if you there were a lot of people that were kind of still going out onto the island when we were coming back on, but we're always kind of early people. So Pat, what were your overall thoughts of the island?
I thought it was really nice. It was, in my opinion, much nicer than Castaway is. Like, obviously it's newer and a little bit more fresh, and it felt like it was a new island. I know that you mentioned earlier, like, all of the trees and the plants were all pretty small, so there wasn't a lot of shade outside of like the large pavilions, which really wasn't a problem because there was plenty of space to sit in the shade.
Yeah.
There's a lot of seating around wherever there was a food location, so plenty of spots to stay out of the sun.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different than Castaway, and that's not to say that we don't love Castaway. We do, but I think this is closer to how you would relate it to some of the other islands for other ships where there's a lot more activities kind of on the island. I feel like Castaway is more, you go to the beach. There's some really cool areas there, but this was kind of neat because they had so much entertainment.
Yeah.
There were the characters were out doing, playing with the kids and things like that. So that was just kind of cool to see. But it's also, I mean, it's brand new. We're literally, I think, the 4th sailing. So of course we're like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful because it's been hardly touched. But I think what was really nice about it is that everything's so close together. So even though you do have that walk on the pier and then you do have that tram ride, once you get there, and really that was under a half hour of that whole process. Once you get there, everything is right there. So you can go to the different barbecues. You can go to the Play Pavilion, which is kind of on the furthest end of the island, and then be at Serenity Bay, which is on the other side of the island, or their space on the island, in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we walked from Serenity Bay all the way down to the play area, and it wasn't that long of a walk.
No, yeah. And the cast members are just so awesome. They are so excited for the new island destination. So it's a really cool spot, and I'm excited. We both said it will be really cool to see this when it gets, a few years down the line. I think we'll be back before a few years down the line.
And it looks like there's like potentially some things that they're going to be expanding. Like there's room, construction
definitely.
Work potentially going on. So that was really cool to see. And also all of the walkways were pretty much elevated on like little piers. So you were like looking down at like basically untouched land on some of it, which was really nice.
Yeah. Instead
of like walking on just hot cement.
Yeah, it was nice because you're walking on these essentially like boardwalks that they have, and whereas with Castaway or with other island destinations that we've been to, you're getting sand in your shoes as you're walking, and you're on a beach. We understand but
we don't love the sand.
It's just we're Star Wars people, of course, but it was nice because you kind of had that area that was elevated. It also just gave you like incredible views of the water, and the water was spectacular.
Some of the clearest water I've ever seen.
Yeah, just gorgeous. The one thing that I will say that I think that they're going to have more difficulty with here than they do with Castaway is keeping kids out of Serenity Bay area. So we saw 2 families that had children over there, and other adult, guests did go and get a cast member to kind of ask the children, the families, to have their kids go to the family beach, which is never really like what you want to have to do. So it wasn't like the best thing to have to see, but it butts up right against each other. So it's hard to really like have that delineation.
Well, and I know one of the families came walking down the beach, so I don't know if there's any sign. I didn't walk down that part of the beach, so I don't know if there was any signage even saying like this is the beginning of Serenity Bay.
Yeah, the signs are very small, even on like the pathways. So I don't think it was like intentional on these families' parts, but it's a very easy kind of you know, whereas with Castaway, you have to take another tram to get to Serenity Bay. So it kind of has
And they'll
that
stop you
delineation.
before you get on the tram.
Yeah. So that's, you know, just differences. And there are definitely things that they'll figure out. I believe that we had some recording of the True barbecue where a lot of people have been talking about the flies that are on the food. It wasn't terrible, honestly, when we were there, but I do think that they've already made some changes to try to kind of control
Minimize
that.
that, yeah.
And Pat was saying, like, basically having like blowers above the food could help with that. So, I mean,
yeah, I mean, what we had seen online before coming here was definitely a worse thing than we experienced.
yeah.
There
And the
was-
cast member said there's been a lot of updates.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I think overall, I mean, I really enjoyed it. And like, Pat is not a beach person at all whatsoever. And he was like, this was gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
And I do think that the walk from the pier, like down the pier from the boat to the island, was very overblown. Like, it was like a 10-minute stroll. It wasn't so bad. And
yeah,
it's like,
under 10-minute stroll.
yeah.
By
Well,
far.
we were
yeah.
strolling and we still
Yeah.
got there in under 10 minutes. And if it's most days, I would assume here there's going to be a breeze like there was today. It really wasn't that bad.
No, I think the one thing I would say is if you do have little ones, if you have a stroller with you, bring the stroller for that, just because that might make it a little bit easier. If you do have accessibility concerns, just stop at guest services before you exit, and they can make sure that there is a golf cart taking you. So there's
There were plenty of people getting
Yeah.
driven down the pier on a golf cart. They
Yeah.
had quite a few of them.
definitely. So I don't think it's as big of a concern. I mean, when you see that, it is a little like, oh gosh, here we go.
Just enjoy how beautiful the water is and
Yeah.
there's fish swimming all over. It's
Yeah.
fun to watch.
It's incredible. So, but we really enjoyed it. I hope that you guys have enjoyed watching the video, and hopefully you will get a chance to go to Lookout Key soon. Of course, as always, please make sure that you're subscribed if you haven't already. Like, comment, let us know what you think of Lookout Key if you've been here, or if you're planning a trip, or if you're just you're being an armchair traveler, that's okay too. Let us know what you think. And if you do want to plan your trip to Lookout Key or on any Disney Cruise Line vacation, be sure to reach out to KMV Travel. Our help is complimentary, and we would be so excited to help your family head out this way. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you again soon.